Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I don't want you to write this down. I want you to just watch one and then we'll go to our notes. Okay, so don't write, just watch. Okay, this is actually factored already, but let's just practice foiling. Okay, so what is the first times the first? So that's what the F stands for, so that's 12x squared. Outsides, so that's the outside, so that makes a plus 3x. Insides, so the inside will make a negative 8x. And then the last, so this times this is negative 2. Okay, so that's that FOIL system. Then we can put those two together. So this is how, when I look at a trinomial, this is how I think about it. This is always the first, the last, and this part is always the combination of the OI. Okay, so let's think about how we can go from here back to the factors. So this is what we're going to do today. Okay, and remember the goal was that we always wanted it to make y 0. Okay, step 1. I call this the FLA. So I'm going to take the first times the last, and I'm going to write negative 24. Do you see where I'm getting it from? Okay, so now on the side here, I'm going to say, what are the ways I can get 24? 1 times 24, 2 times 12, what else? 3, yep, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Okay, when I see this negative, I know that I'm going to have something positive and something negative, right? Okay, I need some pair to end up making a negative 5, adding. So this was a multiply, but the middle is an add. So I'm going to use this pair to make a negative 5. Do you see it? Multiplies to that, adds to that. Okay, now I'm going to go under the F and I'm going to think, how could I get that? So I could go 1x times 12x. I could have done 2x times 6x. Or I could have done a 3x times 4x. Okay, those are all the ways I can get that. And then I'm going to go to my last. How can I get 2? 1 times 2. Now I'm going to look for partners. I need some kind of partnership with this and this to make a 3, and some kind of partnership to make an 8. Do you see how I can match the sets together? I think I can match it with this. So I'm going to partner 3 and 8. You see how I'm getting a 3 and an 8? Okay, so my two brackets, I'm going to put the 3x and the 4x in the first times first, okay, because I'm thinking about that FOIL the whole time. First times first has to make 12x squared. Okay, now here's where I line up my partners. 3 has to partner with a 1. And I wanted that to be a plus 3x. The 4 partnered with a 2, and I wanted that to be a negative 8x. Okay, so I set it all up beforehand and then lined it up together. Okay, so now this is what I think we kind of did this yesterday. what is the solution for x here? So I gave you the shortcut, which was opposite, divide. So it needs to be 2/3. Okay? And if you forgot how I did that, I just did this where I made the bracket be 0. I would have to add 2 and divide by 3. So that's how I got it. Okay, so if I do the shortcut in this one, it would be what? Opposite, -1 over 4. Okay, so let's try the ones in our notes. So yesterday we had these two. Okay. You ready? Complex. So I'm going to get myself a FL number. These are at the bottom of the page. Did you find them? Because we skipped them yesterday. Okay, I'm going to get a FL number. So the first times the last will be -6. 2 times the -3. So I'm going to make a list. I could go 1, 6, or 2, 3. Those are the only options to get 6. I'm already thinking in my head, well, one's going to have to be positive, one's going to be negative. And I have to make the numbers that I choose, they need to add to a -1 in the middle. Which combo adds to a -1? Okay, so now I'm going to go under my F. What could I multiply to get that F? Well, you don't have many options. X times 2x is the only way to do that. What could I do to get the L? I would have to go 1 times 3, and that's the only option. So what should I partner with what? I need a 2 partner and a 3 partner. So I will partner that and that to make a 3 and a 2. Okay, so 0 equals 2 brackets, because I made y 0. Okay, I'm going to put an x and a 2x. I always start with the first. So that, multiplying my FOIL, I'm already done the first. Now I'm going to make the O and I partners. So we put the 1x with the -3, because we needed that to be negative. And we partnered the 2x with a 1. And we said over here we wanted that to be positive. So do you see in your foiling, are you foiling it in your head? Does this multiply to what I want it to? Okay, in this first bracket, your answer is just the normal. So just -1. And in the second bracket here, this is a complex because of the 2 that's involved. So opposite, divide. +3 over 2. Okay, does this ring a bell? We did this in grade 10. I know that I taught this method. You had LUPTAC. So did you do this method or did you do something like factoring out? Do you remember? You don't remember? You don't remember this at all? A little bit? Okay. Next one, ready? I'm going to write my FLA first. So what is the first times the last? Negative 30. So that was the first thing times the last thing was negative 30. I'm already thinking in my head, I'm going to have something with a positive and something with a negative. Okay, 1 times 30, 2, 15, 3, 10, and 5, 6. Those are all the sets that multiply. I need to end up with a negative 13. So, ooh, which one of those sets is the one I'm going to pick? You have to be careful here. One of them is right and one is wrong because of the signs. What did we say? One's going to be plus and one's going to be minus. So how do I make a negative 13? Okay, so I'm picking that one. This one was so close, but they would both have to be negative, and then that's not making negative 30, that would be positive 30. Okay, so here's my F, 1x times 15x, or I could have done a 3x times a 5x. Here's my L, 1 times 2. Okay, that's it for options. Now I'm going to do the puzzle part. What are my partners? I need a 2 and a 15. So what should I put with what to make that happen? I need a 2 and a 15. Did you find partners that will work? 2 and 15? Okay, so I'm going to make my y be 0. I'm going to put 2 brackets with an x and a 15x at the front. I like to do my O and I arrows just to make sure that I can get my partners lined up. So what did I do here? I circled the 1x to go with the 2, and I remembered that I put that as the plus, and I did the 15 in a box with a 1, and I said that should be negative. So x, the solution will be 1. And this solution will be opposite divide. Okay, and remember we have a calculator, so I can also just type this in and double check my answer. Okay, so you can do that as well.